The Pinball Enterprise. So, last I left off, I'm basically pretty much done. I'm just picking at it. I got to do a little detail painting on a few places. And one thing I had to fix is the side decals here. I didn't like the aftermarket ones, so I went with the kit versions, which are basically a light gray. And I put them on. I like them a lot better. I got to do a little bit of trim work, and I got to do a little painting on it just to blend it all together. But I think it looks a lot better than the other ones did. And I just think it just looks, gives a little more, they kind of looked, I want to say clear, but they overlapped and on the aftermarket ones, but the kit ones I think look better. So anyway, I'm going to fix those, and then I sprayed most of it with a gloss varnish, because that was just to get the registry decals on, but then I'm going to spray a little bit more of that on, and then I'm going to basically put a satin on it, and then basically got to let it sit for days on end, because I really just can't touch it after you spray it. It's just the way it is. But anyway, we are taking shape on it. So anyway, that's what I've been doing on that. So just a little bit more, and then we can pretty much hopefully wrap it up probably by the end of the week. At least that's the game plan. But anyway, very fun, and hopefully we can get it wrapped up and get it on its pinball machine. The lowe, and one thing I did about the lowe is if you seen it last time, I had it all puttied up and everything, but I got everything sanded, and then I shot just what was left of the primer in the can, and there you have it, super smooth. And probably just need I probably need to sand a little bit more, but anyway, we'll take care of that. But anyway, that's pretty much done, except for I got to put the photo etch on, which I'm basically just going to use the vent screens. I'm not going to pretty much worry about any of the if they're like fenders or brackets or anything. I just basically want the screens on there, and then we'll be ready to paint in just a little minute sand. But I did get the turret on, and I was going to do and it was suggested use magnets, but I took and it does turn, but I did take just a piece of styrene out of the old scrap box and made like a half moon, and I glued it on the inside of the turret on the back, and I just shoved it in. I set it on, and it does not tip or anything, and it's good and secure. So anyway, that's where we stand on the lowe. And since that's done and it's basically going to dry, I want to start this one probably today. We're going to do the what is it? Flak 41 28mm, basically a dual flak on an E100 chassis. So I want to start building that today. Then I'm just going to try to kill two birds with one stone and kind of paint everything all at one whack. That's just the way it is, because it's just easier to paint, a bunch of stuff all at one time, just because most everything has pretty much the same colors except for the Raptor. And speaking of the Raptor, what I've done so far is I took metallic gray and I painted the engines, and that's just the base coat I've got on it. And what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to wrap them up basically with saran wrap, and then hopefully what I want to do is I would like to get the white base coat on, and then we can pull that off, and then we can start doing detail work, washes and some dry brushing, and paint just a little bit of details on the inside there, what you can see and all that. But that's my game plan. But I got the metallic gray on, and then what I'm going to do is after I get the basic colors on, and then I'll go back in, do washes, and do some post shading with the airbrush and all that good stuff. But that's where I stand on that. So hopefully find a little more time so we can accomplish that as well. The hex marks the spot. Basically all I've done is I got the base painted brown, and it's all painted so far. And I basically I want to put some washes on it, and I want to do a little post shading, get some shadows going. And then I went ahead and I took some Tamiya Buff, and painted the skeletons just I guess a buff color, and then of course I'll put some washes and we'll do some dry brushing and all that. But anyway, trying to take hopefully it'll take a little more shape. I'd like to get it maybe we can paint over the Labor Day weekend, get a little more done on it. Anyway, very fun model. It's just a unique diorama in a box, and we like it. I'm trying to keep it simple. I want to get it over don't want to add too much to it. I want to keep the nostalgia of it, where you can buy the kit and make a good model. What's in the box. But anyway, that's what I have got going on today. Trying to paint up Hex. We are getting the low sanded and primered. I want to start the Zwilling flak. Trying to paint the Raptor, and almost done with decal duty on the Pinball Enterprise. So that's what I've got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.